Pirenne has shown us that the period in Gaul called Merovingian, the period between 500 and 750, that in this period the Roman way of life continued on its usual paths, supported and nourished by the long-distance trade and cultural contacts between the royal Frankish city of Marseille and the ports of the Eastern Roman Empire. That is, Rome itself, then Syracuse, Carthage, Alexandria, Levantine Syria, and above all, Constantinople itself. The evidence he advanced in 1937 was that the basic infrastructure and networks of the Roman world remained more or less intact throughout this time. Papyrus, which was made only at Alexandria, was used in the monasteries and at the Curia Regis, the royal court chancery, and spices, which were also only available from the eastern Mediterranean, served as condiments to the food of the Frankish nobility and the clergy. Here is a list from a donation made from the Celarium Fisci, the fiscal cellars at Foss, made to the Abbey of Corbie by King Chilpericus II. There were substantial colonies of Syrians, Greeks, and of Jews established and living in the cities of Merovingian Gaul as there were in Spain and Italy. These were the negociatores, genere Syrus, merchants of the Syrian kind, who had their own quarters in the cities like Ravenna, Bordeaux, Paris, and many others. They financed their long-distance commerce with gold coinage, still struck with imperial-type images throughout the period. They advanced loans at interest and held stocks in warehouses and employed a literate staff. Many of them were extremely rich as a result and moved in the inner circle of the Merovingian kings. Indicative of the realities of this world is also a letter from Pope Gregory the Great, dated 597, to the Patriarch, his colleague at Alexandria, concerning a famous wine produced there, the Conidium. This reflects the interconnectedness and relative ease of commercial intercourse still prevalent throughout the Mediterranean in the very late 500s AD. Pirenne shows us how all this changed drastically and did so quite suddenly. The last document relating to the royal entrepôt at Marseille dates from 716. In 720, the Muslims based now at Narbonne had sacked it thoroughly and rendered it dead as a commercial port. Gold coins ceased to be minted after about 750. It was no longer needed. Long-distance trade had been rendered impossible by the fact that the Western Mediterranean and its coastal cities were now a hunting ground for Muslim raiders. We read of no further mention of Syrian negociatores. As a class and an economic function, they ceased to exist. Papyrus ceased to be used in the Merovingian chancellery as elsewhere after 677. Then the much more expensive and difficult to prepare parchment began to be used, necessarily more sparingly. A picture emerges then that between 650 and 750, the whole Roman world suffered not only the loss of much of its heart and core, but also underwent processes of the most severe economic, social, and cultural setback, all the direct result of the Islamic invasions. These features described above were the concrete realities of the onset of a real Dark Age in what remained of the Greco-Roman world.